Okay, hi guys. So in this video, I'm pretty much going to be doing something different, something new. I'm going to be just branching away from films and talking about my favourite vinyl records that I've collected over the years. I've just pan the camera down here. I'm going to talk about, as I said, just the vinyl albums I've collected over the years and sort of give you an insight into some of the music that I'm into and interested in and like to listen to. Full disclosure on this, these albums that I have here, I've not listened to everything yet. Some albums I haven't listened to at all. Some I've just picked songs that I've known previously just to hear them on vinyl. But yeah, I'm just going to give you as quick as I can a rundown of the collection and let you know what I've got. So yeah, that being said, I'm going to get straight into it and talk about, kick the collection off first with all the Queen stuff I've got. So I'm going to kick it off first with Queen's debut album, self-titled album, Queen. As I said, this is one that I've not listened to in full, but some of the songs that stood out to me on this were Keep Yourself Alive, and Doing Alright. I just absolutely love the mellowness of that song. I just think it's absolutely superb. So yeah, next on the list that I've got is Queen 2. Yeah, again, not an album I've listened to in full yet. I've just picked out some of the songs on it. Seven Seas of Rye, and of course March of the Black Queen, which was, you can kind of tell that was like a precursor for what was to come with Bohemian Rhapsody. Just absolutely great stuff. Next one is their third album, Sheer Heart Attack. Again, not an album I've listened to in full yet, but just to pick off a few. In the Lap of the Gods, that is just an absolute epic anthem of a song. And Killer Queen, just a fun little catchy rock number. Next for me is probably Queen's most critically acclaimed album, and that's Night at the Opera. This one, of course, has the absolute epic Bohemian Rhapsody on it as well, and you've got Love of My Life. I just think that's just such an epic ballad, and You're My Best Friend as well. Just such a really great little song. Coming up next is Day at the Races, of course. Day at the Races and Night at the Opera being both named after Marx Brothers movies. This one's, of course, got Somebody to Love, which I absolutely really dug the way they used that in the film Bohemian Rhapsody to open the film with. I just thought it was absolutely fantastic. Next one, of course, is News of the World by Queen. Absolutely superb artwork on this album, and this one carries two of the best opening tracks probably, with We Will Rock You and We Are the Champions, of course. The name of that escaped me for a minute there. But yeah, just to show you some of the artwork on the centerfold is just absolutely fantastic. Just thank God vinyl just has had this resurgence over the last couple of years, because the artwork just isn't really done justice on CD covers, in my opinion. Next one, of course, is Jazz by Queen. This, of course, has got the absolutely fun and over the top Don't Stop Me Now, and you got Fat Bottom Girls on there as well. Some great songs. I don't know how well this one's going to come across on camera because it's so metallic. That is The Game. Yeah, just some more great songs on this one. Crazy Little Thing Called Love, of course, and probably one of my favourite songs. My favourite song written by John Deacon anyway, and that is another one, Bites the Dust. Probably Queen's catchiest song in my opinion. You can always could count on John Deacon to come up with a great song when Queen needed it. I completely understand why he sort of took a backseat from the limelight after Freddie passed away. I know Freddie's death really hit him hard. But he was just an absolutely fantastic bass player and a superb songwriter as well. Just one of the most underrated songwriters in my opinion. Just absolutely superb. I just love the metallicness of this. Just absolutely looks great. I don't know how well it's coming across on camera. But it's just absolutely superb. Next one is one that I picked up on eBay, and that is the Flash Gordon soundtrack. Obviously, original music by Queen. Probably the only theme on this is the Flash theme itself. For me, Flash by Queen, which I just really dig. Only seen the movie a couple of times. Did really enjoy it, but you can always rely on Queen to deliver a good soundtrack. The next studio album by them is Hot Space. This was sort of when Queen were getting a bit more experimental and was sort of on the decline, and the band was sort of on the verge of breaking up. But this album is, of course, got the collaboration with David Bowie on Under Pressure as well. My favourite song probably off this album is Cool Cat. I just really dig that song and how it sounds. But yeah, as I said, this was the band sort of breaking away from what they would normally do and trying something different. Fair play. I don't think it worked with the fans, but you've got to give them props for trying. So coming up next for me is probably my favourite Queen album of all time, and that is The Works. This was just a really good return to form album. Absolutely superb tracks on this. Radio Gaga, I Want to Break Free. Just really good. Tear It Up, what a rock song that is. Man on the Prowl is like this great little funky jazz number that I really enjoyed. Hammer to Fall, superb. And Is This the World We Created? That's a really good song. That they did an encore for that at Live Aid. Freddie and Brian May, great performance of that song. It's one that really hits hard. But yeah, The Works for me, my personal favourite Queen album. Absolutely love this one. Just superb. If you ever watch them on Live Aid on YouTube, just listen to this album straight after. It just encapsulates everything that was going on at the time, I think. So the next album for me by Queen that I have is Kind of Magic. Yeah, I love that song, Kind of Magic. It's Kind of Magic. It's just so catchy and so good. But this album's also got some really good underrated songs on it as well, in my opinion. Pain Is So Close to Pleasure. That's one I really enjoy. Friends Will Be Friends. 1 Year of Love is one of the most underrated love songs, I think. It's just absolutely superb. One Vision is just an epic bang of an opener for me. Princes of the Universe. This was when Queen were doing as well music for the movie Highlander as well. Absolutely fantastic. Who Wants to Live Forever? Just a power ballad. So good, so great. Yeah, I love the artwork on this one as well. It's just so fun and colourful to look at. The next Queen album I've got is probably the most strangest artwork. This one just really hurts the eyes. The Miracle. Yeah, the songs on this one as well are really good. The Invisible Man. Breakthrough. The bass in that song is just absolutely superb. The Miracle itself, yeah, not a song I loved, but it grew on me over time. It's massively great. I Want It All. The album version of it is so superb. Don't listen to the single version of it. But yeah, just absolutely fantastic. As I said, this is such a weird optical illusion of an album cover, but I really dig it. And the final sort of Queen studio album I have is, of course, Innuendo. This to me is the last true Queen album. I know Made in Heaven sort of came out in the late 90s, which is what the band sort of made with some recordings that Freddie had left. But this to me is the last true Queen album, in my opinion. Absolutely fantastic songs on this. Innuendo itself, absolutely great. Headlong, just one of my favourite Queen songs. These Are the Days of Our Lives. Such a heartbreaking song, and such a heartbreaking music video to it as well. If you've seen it, you'll know why. Yeah, and Show Must Go On. Oh my word, what a outing of a song and a legacy. Just absolutely superb. Yeah, as I said, such a great cover as well. Yeah, fantastic. So yeah, that's all the Queen stuff. Next I'm going to get into my favourite band of all time. And being from Liverpool myself, I am probably a little bit biased, but as I said, yeah, these are my favourite band and group of musicians of all time, and that is the Beatles. So, kicking it off with their first album, Please Please Me. Yeah, just fantastic songs on this. This was an album that was recorded in about 12 hours with like a couple of takes of each song. Yeah, I Saw Her Standing There, Love Me Do, Twist and Shout. Just absolutely great. This is a great, fantastic starting platform to listen to get into them. Yeah, Please Please Me, Love Me Do. Yeah, some absolutely fantastic tunes on there. It's really good. And as again, I just can't appreciate enough how vinyl's had this resurgence. Next one I've got from them is, of course, With the Beatles. Yeah, just so simplistic, this album cover, and yet so effective. Probably my favourite one off of this one is All My Lovin'. I really love that song. Roll Over Beethoven, George Harrison on the vocals, just absolutely superb. Of course, Money, That's What I Want. This sort of saw the Beatles getting into a bit more of cover work rather than their own material. I think they were advised to do that, to try and branch out and become a bit more commercial. But again, all their original stuff's just absolutely superb. I Want to Be Your Man, that was actually obviously written by Lennon and McCartney, but that was, I believe, given to the Rolling Stones, and that was their first number one when they were coming onto the scene. But yeah, that of course is With the Beatles. I've got their third studio album next, and that is, of course, Hard Day's Night. Just absolutely great photography on this, all making these weird sort of quirky faces. Again, just more absolutely fantastic songs on this. Can't Buy Me Love, the title album as well, Hard Day's Night, absolutely superb. I'll Be Back, that's such a dark sounding tune. It just sounds like it's written in sort of minor chords, but it's absolutely so great and so catchy. Anytime at All is one I really love. Things We Said Today, really good underrated Beatles song in my opinion. Yeah, just absolutely fantastic. And I Love Her, one of probably the best Paul McCartney songs, I think, one of my favourites. I'm Happy Just to Dance With You, really catchy, well sung by Harrison as well. Yeah, really dig that one. Their early work for me is not my sort of favourite period of theirs. I sort of like the later stuff. But yeah, they've got their fourth studio album next, which is Beatles for Sale. Great looking photography there, and there's a centerfold as well. Some absolutely fantastic songs on this one. I'll Follow the Sun, great song. 8 Days a Week, it's absolutely superb. Every Little Thing, again, just another underrated classic. What You're Doing, I Don't Want to Spoil the Party, fantastic. No Reply, Rock and Roll Music, that's another cover of theirs. And Mr. Moonlight in Kansas City, absolutely superb. It's got some fantastic photography on this album. It's absolutely great. Their 5th studio album next, which is Help. This to me was where they were just the starting point of them coming into their own, in my opinion. Obviously, you've got the title song from the album Help as well. That's just absolutely fantastic. The Night Before, great song. You've Got to Hide Your Love Away. That's probably in my top 2 favourite Beatles songs of all time. That song is just a classic and it deserves everything about it. The only thing that's wrong with that song is that it's too fucking short. It's like 2 minutes long. But it's one of my favourite Beatles songs ever. I Need You, great George Harrison song. Ticket to Ride, absolute classic. Act Naturally, that's one song by Ringo. That was one I really, really enjoyed as well. You Like Me Too Much, probably my least favourite Beatles song, to be honest. It's probably down there with Revolution 9 for me. Yeah, and then of course you've got Yesterday as well. The most covered song ever. But this to me is the best and the only version that I will ever listen to. I just think it's absolutely superb. So strange the way that Yesterday and Let It Be sort of came to McCartney in a dream when he was writing them. Just thank God he gave the world those 2 songs. But yeah, that is Help. So next, we've probably got my favourite Beatles album. It's definitely in my top 2 with this and the White Album. And that is Rubber Soul. My God, I just love pretty much all the songs on this album. Just absolutely superb. Drive My Car is so catchy. Norwegian Wood, again, just one of my favourite Lennon songs, probably in my top 5. Nowhere Man. Girl is just so mellow and chilled, but it's got like this sinister sting to the lyrics. It's just so good. In My Life, oh my God. If you're ever in Liverpool, walk down Rodney Street and listen to that song. It's just absolutely superb. If I Needed Someone, again, just another great George Harrison song. Yeah, this is one of my favourite Beatles albums, to be honest. I just absolutely love it. I love the way the photography on this sort of they took the picture, but someone nudged the camera when they were coming up with the artwork, and it sort of stretched it out just a tiny bit, and that was how they got it. Yeah, just an absolutely superb album. I've got next, of course, is Revolver. Yeah, this was them when they were really getting into this psychedelic, trippy kind of music. Again, I absolutely love it. Taxman by Harrison, superb. Eleanor Rigby and I'm Only Sleeping, again, just another Lennon, great song by Lennon. Gonna make this full disclosure, Lennon's my favourite Beatle in terms of songwriter. No disrespect to the other 2. For me, for the ranking of the sort of the 3 songwriters, is for me it goes Lennon, Harrison, then McCartney. Yeah, I just dug Lennon's style of songwriting. I just thought he was so cool with his lyrics, just absolutely superb. Tomorrow Never Knows. That was just sort of the beginning of what they were going to do with Sgt. Pepper's. Just absolutely great. For No One, superb. Good Day Sunshine. Yeah, and then of course you've got Yellow Submarine as well, sang by Ringo Starr. Yeah, it's just a fun song. There's not really much you can say about it other than that. It's not the Beatles' finest hour, in my opinion, but it's a ton of fun. And then next, of course, we've got is Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band. This looks absolutely fantastic on vinyl. Great to pick out all of the famous faces. You've got, Bob Dylan, Tony Curtis, Sonny Liston, Marlon Brando, just to name but a few. Edgar Allan Poe, Fred Astaire. Just absolutely great stuff. And then we've got the centerfold there. Absolutely great. And then on the back, of course, you've got your your lyric sheet with all the songs. Fixing a Hole. Love that song. She's Leaving Home. The only one that I really, really don't like, and I think this is probably most common amongst other people as well, is Within You Without You. I don't mind it. I do listen to it every now and again, but it just goes on a bit too long. It's 6 minutes. It's over 6 minutes long. But yeah, it earns its place on the album. I mean, this is regarded amongst musicians as the greatest album ever made. I can totally see that. I can totally get why. The production that went into this thing was just off the charts. A Day in the Life is, of course, regarded as the best Beatles song ever. I can see why. I don't agree with it, but I can see why. Completely. For being for the benefit of Mr. Kite, that's a fun one as well. When I'm 64, Sergeant Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band. That's a great opener as well. Absolutely superb. Little Help from My Friends. I absolutely adore that song. It just is so inoffensive and is so great to listen to. And of course, Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds. Just absolute catchy masterpiece in my opinion. And there's one more look at the cover. Next, of course, we've got Magical Mystery Tour. I find this album to be quite strange. The cover of it, for starters, just doesn't really look like a Beatles album, in my opinion. The songs on it. There we go. Magical Mystery Tour, Fool on the Hill. I love those first two songs. Flying, Blue Jay Way, and Your Mother Should Know. I'm not a big fan of. But everything here from I'm the Walrus downwards are all masterpieces in my opinion. I love all of these songs. Hello Goodbye, Strawberry Fields Forever, Penny Lane, Baby You're a Rich Man, and All You Need Is Love. Just you could just put that side alone on this album and it would still be great. But yeah, there's just some absolutely fantastic stuff that they churned out. You know, they were only together for 8 years and they churned out 13 albums and it was just like, oh my god. Next, of course, is the White Album. I don't know how well you can see that there. It's got the embossed The Beatles. Not really much to be said about the cover. But we go on the inside here, we've got a photo of the four lads. And they're all 30 of the songs that are on this album. Revolution 9, not for me, sorry. But pretty much everything else I absolutely love. Obla Di Obla Da, Back in the USSR, Dear Prudence. While My Guitar Gently Weeps, that's probably up there for me in the top 2 Beatles songs as well. Even though it's not really a Beatles song, you've got Eric Clapton on there as well. I'm So Tired, I absolutely love. Why Don't We Do It in the Road? Yeah, brilliant song. Everybody's Got Something to Hide Except Me and My Monkey, superb. Julia, Helter Skelter. That was like, what's his face? Oh, who passed away a few years ago. Charlie Manson, fucking hell, that was his like theme song. I Will, beautiful song. Birthday. Yeah, Blues, another absolute underrated smash from John Lennon in my opinion. This album obviously does come, of course, with the poster. That's the lyric sheet, and of course you get bigger colour posters of these 4 images as well. But yeah, this is in the running for my favourite Beatles album with Rubber Soul for me. Next one is another one I picked up on eBay, and that is Yellow Submarine. This was soundtrack to the animated movie that they did. But this was, they thought they were signing up to do like a Disney movie, I think, or at least Paul McCartney did. But yeah, this just features some instrumental songs on the second side of the LP. Side 1 for me is really where the magic's at for me on this album. It's All Too Much, great George Harrison song. You've got repeats from Yellow Submarine, All You Need Is Love as well, but Hey Bulldog, is the star for me on this album. That is such a great, catchy rock song. Absolutely superb. By Lennon and McCartney. Next for me is the first vinyl I ever bought, and that is Abbey Road. This was pretty much classed as the last Beatles album that they made together. They did Let It Be. They started Let It Be, sort of abandoned that for a little bit, and then they just made Abbey Road, gave that their full attention, and then once Abbey Road was finished, they went back to finish off Let It Be. But this is just another absolutely superb album. I love the image on the front. Absolutely great. Songs on this as well. Come Together, Something, Maxwell's Silver Hammer, not the Beatles' finest hour, but it's fine. Oh Darling, superb, one of my favourite McCartney songs. Octopus's Garden, it's fun. I Want You, She's So Heavy, that's a really long song, but you feel the weight of that song, no pun intended with the title, but it's just so, it's so good. Here Comes the Sun. I remember when I was sitting in my room in my parents' house when I was younger and it was pissing down with rain outside. I played that song and then all of a sudden the rain just fucked off and the sun came out. It was just so serendipitous and so well timed. And then you've got all of these sort of little melody of songs that sort of run together as one. Golden Slumbers is probably my favourite one. But yeah, I love Polythene Palm as well. That's just Lennon having fun, that song. But yeah, that's Abbey Road. That's just one of the best albums ever made. And their last sort of their studio album with their original songs is Let It Be, of course. The song itself, Let It Be, absolute masterpiece by McCartney. You've got Get Back on here as well. I'm Your Man by George Harrison. Lennon's absolutely beautiful song, Across the Universe. It's such a good song, that, but I find that covers of it are just a little bit better. There was a performance by Sean Lennon, Moby, and Rufus Wainwright. I think it was a concert celebrating Beatles music. Their version of it is just absolutely superb and on point. It's probably the best version of the song I've ever heard. But it's just one I really, really dug. I've Got a Feeling as well. Superb. Two of Us and One After 909 are two of the most underrated Beatles songs you've ever heard. I just absolutely enjoyed them, and The Long and Winding Road is just this beautiful song sung by McCartney. Yeah, just absolutely superb, and the sort of kind of way to seal off the Beatles discography. For me, just absolutely brilliant stuff. But coming up next, just to sort of get back into the Beatles, is the Past Masters on vinyl as well. Now these were is sort of a compilation of all the songs that weren't released on the studio albums. So you got the gatefold there, the four guys, just absolutely fantastic. So this pretty much lists some of the most famous songs that just didn't appear on studio albums. I mean, this just makes an absolute stellar album all in itself. So some of the standouts to me are I Want to Hold Your Hand. This Boy is absolutely great. I absolutely love and adore that song. I Feel Fine, one of the catchiest ones I've ever remembered. Side 3 alone, just start to finish, it's just absolutely superb. Day Tripper, We Can Work Out, Paperback Writer, Rain, Lady Madonna, The Inner Light, Hey Jude, that's just one of the Beatles staples, that. Revolution, that was when Lennon was sort of told, you can release Revolution as a single, but you've got to speed it up and make it a bit more catchy. The Ballad of John and Yoko, I absolutely dig and adore that song. The lyrics in it are just absolutely fantastic. Don't Let Me Down, superb. And You Know My Name, Look Up the Number, just absolutely great. So that sort of wraps up all the Beatles stuff I've got. Unfortunately, we won't see any more from them for obvious reasons. But yeah, I'm going to get straight into this this collection now. These are sort of miscellaneous albums and albums that I just enjoy. I enjoy songs off them. As I said, some of them I haven't listened to in full. I've got a lot of Led Zeppelin stuff in here and a lot of Rolling Stone stuff in here that I haven't listened to yet. But yeah, I'm going to get straight into this now and kick it off with Pet Sounds by the Beach Boys. An album I've listened to in full only once, but there are some gems on here that just absolutely stuck out to me. I Know There's an Answer, probably one of the most underrated Beach Boys songs there is. Wouldn't It Be Nice? Sleep John B is absolutely great. That's one of my dad's favourite songs by them. Caroline, No, just absolutely great. This was sort of Brian Wilson's response to what the Beatles were coming out with and how he was inspired by them, branching away from all the stuff that the Beach Boys were sort of known for. And it was just like this big risk. No one really got what Brian Wilson was doing, and they were just a bit scared that this album was going to flop. And it was like, right, okay, well, we'll give you this. We'll give you this one album to be as experimental as you want to be. If it works, great. If it doesn't, it doesn't. But if it doesn't work, let's just get back to basically the formula of what we've known for doing. But yeah, it's probably the Beach Boys' best record. To be honest, God Only Knows as well. What a great song that is. Yeah, it's just a superb album. Ranked number 2 on the greatest albums ever made, right after Sgt. Pepper's. But yeah, it's absolutely fantastic. The next vinyl I've got is Disintegration by The Cure. Yeah, this album is so atmospheric. It's so great. I absolutely love it. It's one of those albums where you can't really pick a song to be a single from this album. It just works as a collective so well. Lullaby on this is one of my favourite Cure songs. Give you a look at the centerfold there. Just absolutely great. Plain song, Pictures of You. Yeah, Pictures of You is my favourite song off this album. It's so good. So good. As I said, Lullaby as well. That's just a creepy song. Really, really scary imagery for me if you're terrified of spiders. But yeah, it's just one that just looks absolutely fantastic. Next to me is probably one of my favourite albums ever made. That is Bruce Springsteen's Born in the USA. I love and adore this album. I grew up listening to the songs Born in the USA and Dancing in the Dark on this, but it's the other songs on it that really, really make it for me and stick out. Of course, as I said, Born in the USA, Dancing in the Dark. I'm on Fire is the masterpiece from this album. It's just so cool and so great. It's just one to listen to when you're driving. Absolutely great. And the very subtle My Hometown as well. God, that song is fantastic. It's so good. Very relevant as well, I find, with all the stuff that was happening with George Floyd. Just the lyric in that song, there was a lot of fight between the black and white. There was nothing you could do. It just really rang true with me, that lyric. But yeah, it's my favourite Springsteen record, without a shadow of a doubt. I can just listen to this one front to back to front all day long. I just think it's absolutely superb. Yeah, you're probably going to hear me say this a lot. This is my favourite album. But this is one for me that is truly one of my favourites. Again, I love all the songs on this. There's Rumours by Fleetwood Mac. God, yeah, I can't praise this album enough. Don't Stop. The Chain. Go Your Own Way. But for me, probably the most underrated song on this is probably Songbird. That is just such a beautiful song. I'll give you a look at the back as well. The most underrated song for me probably on this is You Make Loving Fun. That is just such a superb song. And of course, Gold Dust Woman is just absolutely great. Dreams, Secondhand News, Never Going Back Again. Yeah, Fleetwood Mac's masterpiece in my opinion, this album. Just absolutely great. Got some more Fleetwood Mac here. Mirage. Probably my favourite song off this is probably Gypsy. And Only Over You as well. That was one I really, really dug. I just thought that was great. I don't know, there was just something about Fleetwood Mac in the 80s. Just some of their music was just really great. My last Fleetwood Mac album that I've got on vinyl is Tango in the Night. This was just as close as they probably got to Rumours, in my opinion. Little Lies, Big Love, Seven Wonders, Everywhere. But for me, the unsung gem on this song is Isn't It Midnight? That is just such a great, catchy rock song. Just think it's absolutely... one that's absolutely fantastic in my opinion, and it's just so underrated. The artwork on this album is just fucking beautiful, by the way. Just superb. Next, coming up, I've got some U2 stuff. Got The Unforgettable Fire. This, of course, has got Pride in the Name of Love on it. Some songs on this are just absolutely great. Wire, The Unforgettable Fire itself. Bad, absolutely great. Their performance of that at Live Aid was just superb as well. The way they just sort of integrated different lyrics into it. Just fantastic. Next up is probably my favourite U2 album. And that is The Joshua Tree. This is another one of those albums I can just listen to back to front. You've got Where the Streets Have No Name. Fuck me, I played that song to death when I was first getting into this album. With or Without You, Still Haven't Found What I'm Looking For. One Tree Hill, just absolutely great. In God's Country, Trip Through Your Wires. Yeah, One Tree Hill is probably the most underrated for me. I just think that's just absolutely fantastic. This was just sort of when U2 went to the States and just sort of embraced what the country was and came up with this absolutely fantastic, stellar album. And I've got one of their 90s ones next, and that is Achtung Baby. The cover on this is just superb, made up of these collages of different photographs. Songs on here are absolutely superb. You've got the Fly, which for me, that was the song that knocked Bryan Adams off number one. With Everything I Do It For You. Getting into some of the songs on this one, even better than The Real Thing. I love that song. Richard Branson wanted that for the Coke advert, but U2 turned him down. And every time I listen to it, all I can think of is I want a Coke now. The Beautiful One, superb song. Ultraviolet, just absolutely great. One of my favourite albums by them. Superb. Next up, I've got Reckless by Bryan Adams. This is one I picked up on eBay. This has just got some of the best Bryan Adams stuff, in my opinion. Summer of 69, Kids Wanna Rock, Heaven, Run to You. Yeah, they're just absolute staples for me when I think of Bryan Adams. Just absolute fantastic songs. This is another album of mine that I absolutely love, and that is So by Peter Gabriel. The songs on this are just absolutely fantastic. Red Rain, Sledgehammer, Don't Give Up, which of course he duetted with Kate Bush, and In Your Eyes, famously used in Say Anything with John Cusack. big time for me. One of my favourite songs off this album. Just absolutely superb. Next up is Nirvana's Nevermind. Yeah, just a great album from them. Who didn't listen to Smells Like Teen Spirit? In Bloom, Come As You Are. Yeah, just some great tracks on here. Just absolutely superb. Next up for me is Paul Simon's Graceland. Yeah, this is sort of seeing Paul Simon break away from Simon and Garfunkel. I think most of this he sort of wrote on about his divorce with Carrie Fisher. The Boy in the Bubble, that is a great song. Graceland, I absolutely love. And of course, You Can Call Me Al. Just great video to that with Chevy Chase. Next up is an album I've not listened to yet, but it's Tommy by The Who. I have seen the film Tommy. I didn't really think much of it, but The Who are a band that I really love and admire. But this is one that I really do have to listen to. I haven't had the time to listen to it yet, but I fully intend to. Next up is Who's Next by The Who. Great album cover on this one. Not listened to this one in full yet. I've listened to Baba O'Reilly. Obviously, that's such a famous song, but CSI has fucking ruined that song for me, to be honest. And We Won't Get Fooled Again. Just absolutely great song. Next vinyl is London Calling by The Clash. Yeah, not an album I've listened to in full yet, but London Calling and Brand New Cadillac for me are absolutely great in my opinion. Really dig those two songs. Next up is Frampton Comes Alive. I love some of these songs from Peter Frampton. Just absolutely great. Baby I Love the Way is such a good song. I just really dig that song. And Do You Feel Like We Do? Some of the things he gets his guitar to do on that track are just absolutely great. So getting into me Bob Dylan stuff now. Got Highway 60 Wrong revisited. Like a Rolling Stone. Regarded pretty much as probably the greatest song of all time. Just sounds absolutely fantastic. This isn't one of my favourite Dylan albums. But yeah, I just absolutely love that song. Next up is Blonde on Blonde. If you've seen the movie High Fidelity, Jack Black's character, when he's sort of helping this guy look for albums in this record store, and he says, "You don't own Blonde on Blonde, that's perverse," and he gives it to him and he says, "Don't worry, it's gonna be okay." It's absolute superb album. One of my favourite tracks on this is Fourth Time Round. You can really sort of see the inspiration there from Norwegian Wood by the Beatles. Sort of like his response. He sort of felt like the Beatles were sort of taking inspiration from him, so that was him taking inspiration from them. I Want You is such a great song. Just Like a Woman, absolutely epic. Yeah, just some great sounding tunes on that one. Next is probably my favourite Bob Dylan's album, of all time in my opinion, and that is Blood on the Tracks. I can listen to this thing front to back to front, all day long. Tangled Up in Blue, such a great song. Shelter from the Storm, Simple Twist of Fate, You're a Big Girl Now. Oh god, these songs are just superb. Meet Me in the Morning. The only one I'm not a big fan of is Idiot Wind. I just think it overstays its welcome just a little bit too long. Does this remind anyone of Whistler's Mother from Mr. Bean? This artwork. Yeah, I just think this is such a great album. It's one I've played to death, but I absolutely massively enjoy it. Next up, well, I've got two more Dylan albums. Next one is Desire. Favourite song on this is The Hurricane by far. Just absolutely such a great tune. Next, I've got one of his sort of later ones from the 90s, and that is Love and Theft. Tweedledee and Tweedledum, such a great song. And Mississippi, that's one of my favourite Bob Dylan songs ever. I just absolutely love and adore that song. Yeah, as I said before, there's some albums in this collection that I've not actually had the chance to listen to in full yet. What's Going On by Marvin Gaye is one of them. I've heard this album's absolutely superb. Unfortunately, I haven't had the chance to listen to it yet. It's just one of them tunes. I know the song What's Going On. It's absolutely great. And Mercy, Mercy Me as well, of course. But yeah, this is one I'm looking forward to checking out in the future. Next, I've got Sound of Silence by Simon and Garfunkel. Just some superb songs on this. April Come She Will, it's just absolutely great. Homeward Bound, and The Sound of Silence itself. This was sort of when The Graduate was coming out, and a lot of these songs were used in that film. But yeah, I love Simon and Garfunkel. Their songs are the lyrics are so great in my opinion. Next one is Parsley, Sage, Rosemary and Thyme. I got this one pretty much for Emily, wherever I may find her. I just absolutely love that song. I remember seeing the Red Hot Chili Peppers do a cover of that on TV, and I just had to find out more about that song. I just thought it was just so good and superb. Next one is Bookends. Yeah, just another great album from them. America is such a great song, and of course you've got the absolute superb Mrs. Robinson as well. Probably their most famous song. Next up, I've got Brothers in Arms by Dire Straits. Yeah, Walk of Life, Money for Nothing. Just some absolute standout tunes. One World, that is probably the most underrated song on this, in my opinion. I dig that song. I just love how the bass sounds on it. Next up is Slippery When Wet by Bon Jovi. Yeah, what can I say? Living on a Prayer. Bon Jovi, absolute staple. And of course, one of my favourite Bon Jovi songs, which is Wanted Dead or Alive. Just so good. So good. Next one up is Songs from the Big Chair by Tears for Fears. Just a great underrated band, to be honest. Shout on this is absolute epic. So good. And of course, Everybody Wants to Rule the World. I absolutely love and adore that song. I just think it's so good. Yeah, Head Over Heels as well. I love how that song got used in Donnie Darko. Just absolutely great. Next, I've got a couple of Billy Joel albums. I've got Piano Man. Haven't listened to this one in full yet, but the song Piano Man itself was enough to make me to let me buy this. Got it fairly cheap on eBay. But yeah, that song is it's New York personified and the New York nightlife, to be honest. It's absolutely great. Next up is The Stranger. Just some more just absolute fantastic Billy Joel songs. Just absolutely great. So, as I said, I've got Rolling Stones and Led Zeppelin pretty much now. I haven't listened to any of these albums yet, but I do plan on doing so. So the first one I've got from Rolling Stones is Beggar's Banquet. As I said, I haven't had a chance to listen to these yet. Fully plan to. I'm just showing you just as a part of the collection. Next up is Let It Bleed. It's absolutely fantastic looking artwork on this. There are, of course, songs. Gimme Shelter. I mean, that's pretty much used in every movie ever, let's be honest. Next up is Sticky Fingers. Kind of sort of reminds me a little bit of Born in the USA, this one. Looks. Their double album, Exile on Main Street. Fully look forward to listening to this one. I've heard it's absolutely superb. So going into the Led Zeppelin stuff, I got Led Zeppelin 1. I have listened to this one, and from what I remember, it just sounded so good. Led Zeppelin 2. Not much on the back there. Led Zeppelin 3. It's got this dial on it which sort of moves the images around. As I said, it's what Led Zeppelin are a band that I don't know many of their songs, but they're a band that I really, really want to get into because from what I've heard of them, I've really, really enjoyed. Led Zeppelin 4, Stairway to Heaven, masterpiece of a song. Really, really enjoy that. Next up is House of the Holy. Physical Graffiti. Again, this is another one I'm really looking forward to. Presents. And I believe their last studio album, which was In Through the Outdoor. Again, I'm just looking for one day where I can just sort of pretty much put Led Zeppelin on start to finish, back to back. Just listen to sort of everything without interruption. So next, probably a few of the controversial picks. I've got some Michael Jackson stuff. Off the Wall. It's absolutely great. This was his sort of solo album, breaking away from his brother's band. You've got Off the Wall, Rock With You. Yeah, just some great songs. Probably one of the biggest albums from the 80s next. That's Thriller. Obviously classic horror music video directed by John Landis. It's got Billie Jean on it as well. Human Nature, of course, the title track of Thriller. Standout to me though is Baby Be Mine. I've played that song to people and people think it was one of those unreleased songs that came out after he died. I was like, no, it's on Thriller. Just gotta listen to it. It's right there. But that is just one of the most underrated Michael Jackson songs, in my opinion. Just think it's absolutely so good. yeah, Want to Be Starting Something, Girl Is Mine with Paul McCartney. That middle bit there, Thriller, Billie Jean, Human Nature, just absolutely superb. And there's Baby Be Mine, of course. That's an underrated gem. Just listen to it. It's superb. Next one I've got is Bad. I love the artwork on this one. I just think it just looks so crisp and fantastic. Got the centerfold as well. Yeah, songs on this, Bad, The Way You Make Me Feel, Another Part of Me, Man in the Mirror, Dirty Diana, Smooth Criminal. I'm gutted that this doesn't have Leave Me Alone on it. I know it's on the CD version. But yeah, that is still a great song to a great album. And of course, I've got his first one from the 90s. And that is Dangerous. Yeah, superb songs on this one. Black or White, Give In To Me, that is a superb song. So underrated in my opinion. Remember the Time as well. Such a good song. To be honest, I remember the video to that having Eddie Murphy in it. Yeah, really, really, really dig that one. Next up, I've got is the Jimi Hendrix Experience. Love some of the songs on this. Just absolutely fantastic. Jimi Hendrix, one of the members of the 27 Club. Yeah, for me, Purple Haze, Hey Joe. The Wind Cries Mary, Fire. I absolutely love that song. Foxy Lady, of course. Both those songs used in Wayne's World. That was pretty much my gateway to Jimi Hendrix. But yeah, just a fantastic, fantastic sounding album. Next up is Prince's Purple Rain by Prince and the Revolution. Saw the film a couple of years ago for the first time. But yeah, the album's pretty much still better than the film, to be honest. Let's Go Crazy, just absolutely superb. When Doves Cry, I absolutely love that song. And of course, the self-titled Purple Rain as well is Prince's best song in my opinion. It's an absolutely great album. Next up is Sex Pistols, Never Mind the Bollocks. Yeah, I dig some of the Sex Pistols stuff. This was their only album, but I love God Save the Queen. I love Anarchy in the UK, Pretty Vacant. Yeah, I just love some of those songs. Yeah, Sex Pistols, Aren't For Everyone, sort of were the leaders of the punk scene in the 70s. It was sort of like punk was like this sort of counteract to disco. Next up is The Doors. Yeah, just some more great songs on this. Jim Morrison. Yeah, Break On Through to the Other Side, Light My Fire. The End as well. Fucking hell. If you've seen Apocalypse Now, you'll know how good that song is. Yeah, just a great album. And next up is one that was pretty much a childhood staple for me. I listened to this non-stop when I was in high school or senior school, whichever you want to call it, and that is Guns N' Roses' Appetite for Destruction. Again, another song I can listen to back to back. You've of course got Welcome to the Jungle, Sweet Child of Mine, probably the most famous song off this record. My Michelle, underrated gem in my opinion. Absolutely love it. Anything Goes, Mr. Brownstone, Paradise City. Thinking About You. Man, I love that song. It is just so good. So good. Love the artwork as well. Used to have this on a t-shirt. Superb. Next vinyl I've got is, of course, Use Your Illusion 1. Great songs on this. I really love their cover of Live and Let Die. To be honest with you, I think that's really, really good. Right Next Door to Hell is a song I love. Don't Cry, probably my favourite, to be honest. I love both this version and the one with the alternative lyrics on Use Your Illusion 2. But yeah, this was their version of... Whenever someone releases a double album, I always call it their version of the White Album. Like anything like Exile on Main Street or Use Your Illusion 1 and 2. Yeah, it's really good. And then, of course, got the other half to that, which is Use Your Illusion 2. If anyone's seen Terminator 2, you'll know, of course... oh, God. Well, you could be mine. Oh, God, why did that escape me? You've got Don't Cry, the alternative lyrics as well, of course. Knocking on Heaven's Door, the Bob Dylan cover. Civil War. God, I love that song. I love this more than part 1, to be honest. But yeah, Use Your Illusion 2 is probably my favourite after Appetite for Destruction. Yeah, I can't praise enough how great it is to sort of have vinyl back. Next, I think, is an absolute staple that you must have, and that is Dark Side of the Moon by Pink Floyd. Not a massive Pink Floyd fan, but I do love some of their stuff, particularly some of their stuff off the next album I've got. Yeah, Money, that's a great song. Great Gig in the Sky at Time as well. Absolutely great. It's great, simple cover. So effective. Next one I've got is The Wall. Pink Floyd. Great. It's got Comfortably Numb. Back, there's not much to look at there. Centerfold. Got some absolutely fantastic artwork on this. Another Brick in the Wall as well. Trial. God, I felt like I was on trial listening to that. Run Like Hell. That's a song I absolutely love as well. 3 parts to Another Brick in the Wall as well. Part 2 is probably my favourite and probably the most well known. Next up is I've got ESP by the Bee Gees. This has got that song You Win Again on it. I just absolutely love that. It's my favourite Bee Gees song. I love it even more than Staying Alive. Yeah. Next up is one I got off eBay. It's a bit battered, but it's an album I absolutely love. And it's 5150 by Van Halen. Yeah, I just love some of the songs on this. When Love Walks In. Why Can't This Be Love? Yeah, 5150 itself. Best of Both Worlds. Dreams, which of course was in the Power Rangers movie. But yeah, it's just an album. Some of the songs on it I just absolutely love. And leading into the last one now is Hotel California by the Eagles. Yeah, I bought this for that song alone. I haven't listened to the rest of the album yet, but the self-titled song of Hotel California is just a song I absolutely love, and it's one of my favourite songs ever, to be honest. Just absolutely love it. So yeah, I didn't mean for this to be as long as it has been, but if you're still here, thanks very much for watching. If you've liked what you've seen, please hit the like button and subscribe. Hopefully going to be back soon with getting back into my top 20 favourite films by year. Going to crack on next with 1998. But yeah, as I said, if you've enjoyed this, please hit the like, please comment, please subscribe and all that jazz. And just going to say thanks very much for watching and take care.